First contact and underestimation. The vast expanse of space stretched out before Captain Alina Reyes as she gazed through the viewscreen of the Earth Space Force's flagship, the ESS Defiant. Countless stars twinkled against the inky blackness, a sight that still filled her with wonder even after years of interstellar travel. But today, those familiar stars were overshadowed by something far more extraordinary. Looming before them was an alien vessel of truly staggering proportions. Its sleek, silvery hull seemed to shimmer and shift, defying the eye's attempt to focus on any one part. Intricate patterns etched across its surface pulsed with an ethereal blue glow. The ship dwarfed the Defiant, making humanity's most advanced spacecraft look like a mere toy in comparison. "Status report," Alina called out, her voice steady despite the rapid beating of her heart. Lieutenant Commander Aiden Chen's fingers danced across his console. "The alien vessel is holding position, Captain. No signs of hostile intent, but no attempts at communication either." Alina nodded, her mind racing. Humanity had long wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they had their answer, and it was both exhilarating and terrifying. "Open a channel," she ordered. "All frequencies." As Aiden complied, Alina took a deep breath. The weight of this moment wasn't lost on her. She was about to become the first human to speak to an alien civilization. "This is Captain Alina Reyes of the Earth Space Force vessel Defiant. We come in peace and friendship. Please respond." Seconds ticked by, feeling like hours. The bridge crew held their breath, the tension palpable. Then suddenly, the view screen flickered to life. The alien that appeared was unlike anything Alina had imagined. It had a vaguely humanoid shape, but its skin was a swirling pattern of iridescent colors. Multiple eyes blinked independently across its face, and what might have been a mouth opened to reveal rows of crystalline structures. "Greetings, humans," the alien's voice resonated, somehow both melodious and grating. "I am High Commander Zixlith of the Galactic Confederation. We have been observing your species for some time." Alina straightened, acutely aware that she was representing all of humanity. "We're honored to make your acquaintance, High Commander. We have much to learn from each other." Zixlith's eyes blinked in an unsettling pattern. "Indeed, your species has shown potential, though you are still in your infancy compared to the civilizations of the Confederation." There was something in the alien's tone that made Alina's skin prickle. Condescension, amusement. It was hard to tell. "We may be young," Alina replied carefully, "but we're eager to join the galactic community. We have much to offer." "Of course," Zixlith said, in a tone that suggested they were humoring a child. "We shall see. For now, you are invited to send a small delegation to our vessel. We will discuss your integration into the Confederation." As the transmission ended, Alina turned to her crew. Their expressions mirrored her own mix of excitement and unease. "Well," she said, forcing a smile, "it looks like we're about to make history. Aiden, assemble a team. We're going aboard." The journey to the alien ship was surreal. As their shuttle approached, Alina marveled at the sheer scale of the vessel. It seemed to defy the laws of physics, its impossibly smooth surface, unbroken by any visible seams or ports. Yet as they drew near, a section of the hull simply dissolved, revealing a cavernous docking bay. Their shuttle, dwarfed by the alien craft, glided inside. The interior was just as awe-inspiring as the exterior. Corridors seemed to shift and change as they walked, guided by a silent alien escort. The air hummed with energy, and Alina could swear she felt the ship's very thoughts pulsing around them. Finally, they were led into what appeared to be a grand meeting chamber. Aliens of various species lounged on strange, undulating surfaces. Some were vaguely humanoid, others defied description. All turned to regard the humans with a mix of curiosity, and was that amusement. High Commander Zixlith floated forward, its body seeming to ripple. "Welcome, humans, to the heart of Galactic Confederation operations in this sector. We are pleased to see you've mastered basic space travel." Elena bristled slightly at the patronizing tone, but kept her composure. "Thank you for your hospitality, High Commander. We're eager to learn about the Confederation and discuss how Earth might contribute." A sound like tinkling crystal filled the air, alien laughter. Elena realized with a start. "Contribute?" Another alien chimed in, its voice like grinding gears. "Your species has barely left its cradle. What could you possibly offer the Confederation?" Elena felt her cheeks flush, but she stood her ground. "We may be young, but humans are resourceful, adaptable, and determined. We've overcome great challenges to reach the stars." "Charming," SCiFi said, its tone making it clear it was anything but. "But the galaxy is vast and full of wonders beyond your comprehension. Your achievements are quaint at best." As the meeting progressed, it became clear that the Confederation viewed humanity as little more than a curiosity, a primitive species to be studied and perhaps guided, but certainly not treated as equals. They spoke of uplifting humanity, of guiding their development over centuries or millennia. There was talk of restricting Earth's space travel, of limiting access to advanced technology for their own good. Elena's initial excitement turned to frustration and then to anger. She had come hoping for partnership, for an exchange of knowledge and culture. Instead, she found patronizing aliens who saw humans as little more than children playing at being a spacefaring civilization. As they prepared to leave, SCiFi approached Elena. "Do not be discouraged, little one. In time, with our guidance, your species may earn a place among the stars. For now, be content with the knowledge that you are not alone." Elena met the alien's gaze, her jaw set. "With all due respect, High Commander, I think you'll find that humans are full of surprises. We may be young, but we're quick learners, and we don't give up easily." SCiFi's eyes blinked in that unsettling pattern again. Bold words. "We shall see if your actions can match them." As their shuttle departed the alien vessel, Elena's mind was already racing. The Confederation might see humans as primitive now, but she was determined to prove them wrong. Humanity had faced long odds before and triumphed. They would do so again. Little did the aliens know, but their dismissive attitude had lit a fire in Elena's heart, a fire that would soon spread across Earth and ignite a technological revolution that would shake the very foundations of the galaxy. The age of human timidity in the face of the cosmos was over. The era of humanity's bold stride into the galactic stage was about to begin. Human ingenuity unleashed. The return to Earth was tense, the excitement of first contact overshadowed by the humiliation of being treated like cosmic children. As Captain Elena Reyes delivered her report to the United Earth Council, the faces around the table grew increasingly grim. "So they see us as pets?" Counselor Amalmkosi asked, her voice tight with barely contained anger. Elena nodded. "More like particularly clever monkeys. They're willing to guide us, but made it clear we're nowhere near ready for real partnership." The council chamber erupted in a cacophony of outraged voices. It was Dr. Yuki Tanaka, head of Earth's Advanced Sciences Division, who finally cut through the noise. "Then we'll just have to show them how wrong they are," she said, her eyes gleaming with determination. "If they won't share their technology, we'll develop our own. We'll leapfrog their expectations and prove our worth." And so began the greatest technological sprint in human history. The encounter with the Galactic Confederation had wounded humanity's pride, but it had also provided invaluable insights. Even without direct access to alien tech, the brief glimpse of what was possible had sparked countless new ideas. Dr. Tanaka led a global initiative, pooling the brightest minds from every nation. Traditional rivalries were set aside in the face of this galactic challenge. The world's resources were poured into research and development at an unprecedented scale. Breakthroughs came in rapid succession. Quantum computing, once a theoretical field, made exponential leaps. This, in turn, accelerated advancements in material science, and energy production. One of the most significant developments came from an unexpected source. Dr. Adebayo Okafor, a Nigerian physicist, had been obsessed with the way the alien ship's hull seemed to shift and change. His team made a breakthrough in metamaterials, creating substances that could alter their properties on command. Imagine, he explained to the council, his eyes alight with excitement, ships that can change their shape mid-flight, adapting to different environments or mission parameters, structures that can repair themselves. The possibilities are endless. Meanwhile, Elena found herself at the forefront of a revamped space program. The ESS Defiant, once the pride of the fleet, was quickly becoming obsolete as new ships rolled out of orbital shipyards at an astonishing pace. "They're calling it the Phoenix class," Aiden told her as they toured the first of the new vessels, rising from the ashes of our old limitations. Elena ran her hand along the sleek hull, marveling at how it seemed to ripple under her touch. Dr. Okuffer's metamaterials in action. "It's incredible. But will it be enough?" The new ships incorporated technologies that would have seemed like science fiction just a few years ago. Gravity manipulation allowed for unprecedented maneuverability. Energy shields, inspired by the flickering barriers they'd seen on the alien vessel, provided formidable defense. But perhaps most impressive was the drive system. Dr. Sophia Ruiz, a brilliant propulsion engineer, had cracked the secret of folding space itself. The Ruiz drive, as it came to be known, allowed for faster-than-light travel without the need for massive engines or exotic matter. "It's elegant in its simplicity," Sophia explained to Elena over a holographic display. "We're not forcing our way through space-time. We're asking it politely to step aside for a moment." As humanity's technological renaissance continued, there were those who argued for caution. "We should wait, build up our strength in secret," some counselors insisted. "The Confederation might see our rapid advancement as a threat." But the majority disagreed. Humanity had tasted the stars, and there was no going back. They would meet the galaxy on their own terms. It was decided that Earth would send a new expedition to Confederation space. This time, they would arrive not as supplicants, but as equals worthy of respect. The day of departure arrived with little fanfare. Earth had kept its advancements as quiet as possible, not wanting to tip their hand too soon. A small fleet of 5 Phoenix-class ships, led by the newly christened ESS Horizon under Captain Ray's command, slipped away from Earth using their metamaterial hulls to avoid detection. As they activated their Ruiz drives for the first time, Elena felt a mix of pride and trepidation. They were about to announce humanity's arrival on the galactic stage in a big way. How would the Confederation react? The journey that had taken weeks before now took mere hours. As they dropped out of folded space at the edge of Confederation territory, Elena steeled herself for what was to come. "Sensors online," Aiden reported. "I'm picking up a Confederation outpost. They've detected us. Captain, they're hailing us. They sound confused." Elena allowed herself a small smile. "On screen," she ordered. The face that appeared was similar to Sixlith's species, but clearly a lower-ranking official. Its eyes were wide with shock. "Impossible," it sputtered. You're human. But how did you get here so quickly? And in ships we've never seen before." Elena stood tall, projecting an air of confidence she wasn't entirely sure she felt. "As we told you before, humans are full of surprises. We've come to renegotiate our place in the galaxy." The alien's colors swirled in what Elena now recognized as agitation. "Wait there," it said. "I must contact my superiors." As the screen went dark, Elena turned to her crew. Their faces showed a mix of nerves and excitement. "Well," she said, "I think we've got their attention. Now let's see if we can get their respect." Little did they know, but humanity's bold move was about to send shockwaves through the Galactic Confederation and attract the notice of forces far more dangerous than condescending aliens. The true test of humanity's newfound strength was yet to come. The galactic threat emerges. The arrival of the human fleet sent ripples of shock through the Galactic Confederation. What had been dismissed as a primitive species had suddenly appeared on their doorstep with technology that rivaled, and in some cases surpassed their own. High Commander SCiFi himself arrived within hours, his massive flagship dwarfing even the impressive Phoenix-class ships. As his image appeared on the horizon's view screen, Elena noted with satisfaction the mix of confusion and wariness in his ever-shifting eyes. "Captain Reyes," SCiFi said, his tone carefully neutral. "Your arrival is unexpected and most impressive." Elena allowed herself a small smile. "Thank you, High Commander. We thought it was time to continue our discussion about Earth's place in the galactic community." What followed was a tense negotiation that stretched over days. The Confederation representatives oscillated between amazement at humanity's achievements and thinly veiled concern at the speed of their advancement. "You must understand our position," one Confederation diplomat, a being that looked like a sentient cloud of glittering dust, explained. "Such rapid technological growth is unprecedented. Some among us see it as a potential threat. We come in peace," Elena assured them for what felt like the 100th time. "We only want to take our rightful place among the stars, to learn and contribute as equals." As the talks progressed, it became clear that the Confederation was deeply divided on how to handle humanity. Some saw the potential for a valuable new ally, while others argued for containment or even preemptive action against this unpredictable young species. It was during one particularly heated debate that alarms suddenly blared across both human and Confederation ships. "Multiple unknown vessels dropping out of FTL," Aiden shouted, his fingers flying across his console. "They're not Confederation designs. Captain, they're opening fire." The view screen lit up with explosions as energy weapons of devastating power lanced out from the attacking ships. Several smaller Confederation vessels were vaporized instantly. "Shields up. Evasive maneuvers," Elena ordered, her training kicking in despite the shock. "Hail the High Commander's ship." SCiFi's image appeared, his colors swirling in patterns Elena now recognized as fear. "It's the Void Swarm," he said, his voice tight. "They've returned." As the battle raged around them, SCiFi quickly explained. The Void Swarm was a mysterious and implacable enemy that appeared from the depths of space every few millennia, laying waste to entire civilizations before disappearing again. The Confederation had thought them gone for good, but now they had returned, and humanity's arrival had coincided with their reappearance. "We need to coordinate our defenses," Elena said, her mind racing. "Our ships may be new, but we're ready to fight alongside you." SCiFi seemed to hesitate for a moment, centuries of ingrained superiority warring with the desperate need for allies. Finally, he nodded. "Agreed. Let us hope your species' vaunted adaptability proves useful, Captain." The battle that followed was unlike anything humanity had ever experienced. The Void Swarm ships moved with uncanny precision, their weapons capable of punching through even the most advanced shields. But the human ships, with their metamaterial hulls and unconventional tactics, proved surprisingly effective. Where Confederation ships fought in rigid formations, the Phoenix-class vessels darted and weaved, their ruse drives allowing them to make micro-jumps that confounded the enemy's targeting systems. Elena found herself coordinating not just her own fleet, but working in concert with Confederation commanders. The universal translators worked overtime as a dozen species called out maneuvers and warnings. "Swarm vessel at Sector 9, Elena shouted. "SCiFi, if you can keep them busy, we can flank them with the Horizon and Defiant." The High Commander's ship, a behemoth that dwarfed even the largest human vessel, moved with surprising grace to engage the enemy. Energy weapons flashed, lighting up space like a violent sunrise. Meanwhile, Elena's ships executed a daring maneuver, using their ruse drives to pop in and out of folded space, appearing behind the swarm vessel. Their combined firepower overwhelmed its defenses, and the enemy ship exploded in a spectacular eruption of exotic particles. But for every enemy they destroyed, more seemed to pour in from the depths of space. The defenders found themselves slowly being pushed back, their lines buckling under the relentless assault. "We can't hold them much longer," Zixlith's voice crackled over the comms, strained and filled with static from weapons interference. "There are too many." Elena gritted her teeth, watching as another Confederation ship succumbed to the onslaught. They needed a game-changer, and fast. That's when Dr. Sophia Ruiz's voice cut in on a private channel. "Captain, I have an idea. It's risky, but it might just work." As Sophia quickly outlined her plan, Elena's eyes widened. It was audacious, potentially suicidal, and exactly the kind of unconventional thinking they needed. "Do it," Elena ordered. Then, switching to the general channel, "All ships, fall back to Rally Point Alpha. Prepare for emergency jump on my mark." As the battered fleet retreated, the Void Swarm pressed their advantage, their ships forming into a massive bifurcating structure that reminded Elena of a monstrous, world-eating flower. "Now, Sophia," Elena commanded. In that moment, every human ship activated their Ruiz drives simultaneously, but not to flee. Instead, they created a massive overlapping field of folded space, engulfing a large portion of the swarm fleet. The laws of physics rebelled at the conflicting space-time geometries. For a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, the battlefield was engulfed in a silent, eerily beautiful maelstrom of warped light and impossible colors. Then, with a flash that momentarily outshone the nearby sun, a significant portion of the Void Swarm fleet simply vanished, torn apart and scattered across light years by the turbulent space-time riptide. As the light faded and sensors came back online, an eerie silence fell across the battlefield. The remaining swarm vessels, as if confused by the sudden loss of their comrades, began to retreat. On the horizon's bridge, the crew stared in awe at the empty space where their enemies had been just moments before. Aiden was the first to break the silence. "It worked," he breathed. "Holy shit, it actually worked." Elena allowed herself a moment of relief before turning her attention to damage reports and casualty lists. They had won this battle, but she knew the war was far from over. As she prepared to contact Zixlith and the other Confederation commanders, Elena couldn't help but feel a mix of pride and trepidation. Humanity had proven its worth beyond any doubt, but in doing so, they had irrevocably changed the course of galactic history. The Void Swarm would be back, she was certain. And when they returned, the fate of not just humanity, but the entire galaxy would hang in the balance. The true test of their newfound alliance was yet to come. Humanity's secret weapon. In the aftermath of the battle, the Galactic Confederation was in turmoil. The return of the Void Swarm, coupled with humanity's unexpected display of power, had shattered centuries of complacency. Emergency councils were convened, and for the first time in living memory, humans were invited to attend as equals. Captain Elena Reyes found herself standing before a vast amphitheater, filled with representatives from hundreds of species. The atmosphere was tense, a mixture of fear over the swarm's return and wary respect for humanity's achievements. High Commander Zixlith, his colors muted in what Elena now recognized as a sign of stress, addressed the assembly. "We face an unprecedented crisis. The Void Swarm has returned, stronger than ever. Yet, in our darkest hour, we have found unexpected allies." He gestured towards Elena and the human delegation. "The humans have proven themselves to be resourceful, adaptable, and formidable in battle. I propose we formally induct them into the Confederation and combine our efforts against the swarm." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien voices. Some supported the motion, while others argued vehemently against trusting such a young and unpredictable species with Confederation secrets. Elena stepped forward, her voice cutting through the din. "With respect," she said, her tone firm but diplomatic, "Earth doesn't seek to join the Confederation. At least, not as it currently stands." A hush fell over the assembly. Even Zixlith's eyes blinked in surprise. "We propose a new alliance," Elena continued. "One of equals, where all members contribute and benefit. The old hierarchies of the Confederation are a luxury we can no longer afford in the face of this threat." Her words sparked fierce debate. Many older races bristled at the idea of restructuring the power dynamics they had enjoyed for millennia. But others, particularly younger species who had chafed under Confederation rule, voiced their support. As the arguments raged, Dr. Yuki Tanaka approached Alina, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "Captain," she whispered, "I think we've made a breakthrough. Something that could turn the tide against the swarm." Alina listened intently as Yuki explained. A team of human scientists, working in collaboration with some of the more open-minded Confederation researchers, had been analyzing data from the recent battle. They'd noticed something odd about the Void Swarm's technology. It seemed to operate on principles that defied conventional physics. "We think they're utilizing dark energy somehow," Yuki explained. "It's how they're able to appear seemingly out of nowhere and power their devastating weapons." "Can we counter it?" Alina asked. Yuki's grin widened. "Better. We think we can use it against them. But we'll need resources and cooperation from the Confederation." Alina nodded, a plan forming in her mind. She stepped back to the podium, waiting for a lull in the debates. "Esteemed members of the Confederation," she began, her voice carrying across the chamber. "While we argue, the Void Swarm regroups. They will return, and when they do, they'll be prepared for our previous tactics. We need a new approach." She outlined the human scientists' discovery about the swarm's use of dark energy and their proposal to develop countermeasures. "But we can't do this alone," Alina continued. "We need your knowledge, your resources, your unique perspectives. This is bigger than old rivalries or established hierarchies. The swarm threatens all of us. Only together do we stand a chance." Her words seemed to strike a chord. Even some of the most vocal opponents of human inclusion fell silent, considering the implications. Zixlith floated forward, his colors shifting in complex patterns. "What you propose is unprecedented," he said slowly. "But these are unprecedented times. I second the motion for a new alliance." The vote that followed was far from unanimous. But in the end, the majority sided with humanity's proposal. The Galactic Defense Coalition was born, with Earth as a founding member. What followed was a period of feverish activity. The newly formed coalition poured resources into the dark energy research. Human adaptability and outside-the-box thinking, combined with the vast knowledge and advanced technology of the older races, leading to breakthroughs at an astonishing pace. Dr. Adebayo Okafor's metamaterials were combined with Confederation phase shift technology to create hulls that could potentially withstand the swarm's weapons. Dr. Sophia Ruiz worked with alien engineers to refine the Ruiz drive, allowing for even more precise manipulations of space-time. But the crown jewel of their efforts was the Dark Energy Resonance Cannon, or DERC. Based on the principles observed in the swarm's own technology, it was designed to turn their power against them. As the coalition's fleets were refitted and the new weapons installed, long-range sensors picked up signs of swarm activity. They were massing for another attack, on a scale that dwarfed their previous assault. Elena found herself promoted to admiral, in command of a joint human Confederation fleet. As they made final preparations, she addressed the crews. "A mix of humans and aliens united in common cause. We face an enemy that has terrorized our galaxy for eons," she said, her words translated into dozens of languages. "They think us weak, divided, easy prey. Today, we prove them wrong. Today, we stand together not just for our own worlds, but for all life in the galaxy." A chorus of cheers, human voices mingling with alien sounds, echoed through the ships. As Elena took her place on the bridge of the flagship, rechristened the Unity, she felt a mix of determination and trepidation. They had poured everything into this moment, this technology, this alliance. If it failed, there might not be another chance. The fate of the galaxy rested on their shoulders. As the fleet prepared to jump to the coordinates where they would intercept the swarm, Elena took a deep breath. Whatever happened next would change the course of galactic history forever. "All ships, prepare for jump," she ordered. "May fortune favor the bold." In a flash of folded space, the coalition fleet vanished, heading towards their date with destiny. The final battle against the Void Swarm was about to begin. Triumph of the underdogs. The Coalition fleet dropped out of folded space into a scene of cosmic horror. The Void Swarm had amassed a force that blotted out the stars, their ships forming intricate, ever-shifting patterns that hurt the eye to look upon. At the center of their formation was a structure of impossible size, a vast, writhing mass of dark energy that seemed to devour light itself. "By all that's holy," Aiden breathed, his face pale as he stared at the tactical display. Admiral Elena Reyes steeled herself, pushing down the fear that threatened to overwhelm her. "All ships, battle formation Delta," she ordered, her voice steady despite the hammering of her heart. "Prepare to engage on my mark." The Coalition fleet fanned out, a dazzling array of ships from 100 worlds moving in perfect harmony. Humanity's Phoenix-class vessels darted between lumbering Confederation dreadnoughts, while swarms of smaller craft took up defensive positions. For a moment, all was still. Then, with a silent flash that lit up space like a newborn sun, the swarm attacked. Energy beams of impossible power lanced out, cutting through the void. But this time, the Coalition was ready. Shields flickered and held, the combined might of human ingenuity and Confederation technology withstanding the onslaught. "Return fire," Elena commanded. "All ships, engage at will." The battle that followed was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Coalition ships danced through space, their movements guided by AIs that coordinated faster than organic minds could process. Weapons fire crisscrossed the battlefield in dazzling patterns, each shot guided with terrifying precision. But for all their preparation, the Coalition found themselves hard-pressed. The swarm's numbers seemed endless, and their mastery of dark energy allowed them to appear and disappear at will, confounding even the most advanced targeting systems. "Admiral," Dr. Yuki Tanaka's voice crackled over the comms. "We've analyzed the swarm's attack patterns. There's a rhythm to it, an underlying structure we might be able to exploit." Elena's mind raced, processing the implications. "Can we disrupt it?" "Possibly," Yuki replied. "But we'll need to get the DERC closer to their central structure." "Much closer." Elena gritted her teeth. Getting near that monstrosity would be tantamount to suicide. But if it gave them a chance... "Understood," she said. "I'll lead a strike team. Zixlith, can you provide cover?" The High Commander's voice came through, tinged with a mix of admiration and concern. "It shall be done, Admiral. May your gods watch over you." Elena turned to her bridge crew, meeting each of their eyes in turn. "I won't order anyone to come with me," she said softly. "This mission..." "We're with you, Admiral." Aiden cut her off, a fierce grin on his face. "All the way." With a nod of gratitude, Elena gave the order. The Unity, along with a handful of the most agile ships in the fleet, broke from the main battle line. As they accelerated towards the heart of the swarm, the rest of the Coalition forces redoubled their efforts, drawing fire and attention. The journey to the central structure was a nightmare of twisted space and near misses. Elena's hands flew over the controls, guiding the Unity through gaps in the swarm's defenses that closed almost as soon as they appeared. "We're in range." Yuki's voice was tense with excitement, initiating DERC startup sequence. The Unity shuddered as the dark energy resonance cannon powered up. On the view screen, Elena could see the massive swarm structure looming ever larger. It seemed to pulse with malevolent intent, tendrils of dark energy reaching out as if to crush them. "Cannon at full charge," Aiden reported. "Ready to fire on your command, Admiral." Elena took a deep breath. This was it. Everything they had worked for, everything they had sacrificed, came down to this moment. Fire. The DERC unleashed its power, a beam of concentrated dark energy lancing out towards the heart of the swarm. For a terrifying moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a silent flash that seemed to bend reality itself, the beam connected. The effect was immediate and catastrophic. The swarm's central structure began to warp and twist, its carefully maintained patterns collapsing into chaos. A shockwave of dark energy radiated outward, catching sworn ships in its wake and tearing them apart. "It's working," Yuki shouted. "The resonance is cascading through their entire fleet." Alina watched in awe as the swarm, which had seemed so invincible just moments ago, began to crumble. Ship after ship winked out of existence, drawn into miniature singularities, or simply torn apart by the forces they could no longer control. But the battle was far from over. The Unity rocked violently as it was caught in the backwash of energies. Warning klaxons blared as systems began to fail. "We need to get out of here," Aiden yelled over the din. "The ship can't take much more of this." Alina's hands flew over the controls, trying to plot a course out of the maelstrom. But with their engines damaged and space itself twisting around them, escape seemed impossible. That's when a familiar voice crackled over the comms. "Hold on, humans," SCiFi said. "We're coming for you." Through the chaos of the disintegrating swarm, Alina saw a sight she never thought she'd witness: the massive bulk of SCiFi's flagship, plowing through debris and energy fields to reach them. A tractor beam lanced out, latching onto the Unity. "Brace for emergency jump," SCiFi ordered. In a flash of folded space, they were gone, leaving behind the death throes of the void swarm. When they emerged back with the main fleet, a cheer went up that seemed to shake the very stars. The remnants of the swarm were in full retreat, hounded by coalition forces. On the Unity's bridge, Alina sagged in her chair, exhaustion and elation warring within her. They had done it. Against all odds, facing an enemy that had terrorized the galaxy for eons, they had emerged victorious. As the adrenaline faded, Alina looked around at her crew, human and alien alike, battered but unbowed. She thought of the journey that had brought them here, from first contact to this moment of triumph. The galaxy would never be the same. The old hierarchies had been swept away, replaced by a new order founded on cooperation and mutual respect. Humanity had proven itself not just to the Confederation, but to the cosmos itself. As ships from across the coalition approached to render aid and offer congratulations, Alina allowed herself a small smile. They had faced the darkness and emerged stronger for it. Whatever challenges the future held, they would face them together. The underdogs had had their day, and it was just the beginning.